Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center. I'm here with Andrew Vasquez with his movie, Camisa El Revés. Let's take a look at the clip.
Piensa mis besos cuando no me ves. Odia mis memorias al otro mes. Pensamientos y camisa al revés. Locos somos cuando no nos volvemos a ver. No me falta nada, no me falta.
Andrew, thank you for being here today and congratulations on your film.
Thank you for having me and thank you for sharing that clip.
Well, we couldn't do it without you, but for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
The Camisa al Revés, which means shirt inside out, it's for those of us who can remember, it's about VHS, it's about playing with VHS, and simply it's a grandmother watching her granddaughter's quinceañera video, and then it's been taped over with two other portions of a wrestling match and a music video, band video that stars the band it's based on.
It reminded me very much of those moments when, you know, your favorite clips or you've recorded something and it's been taped over by something else. The things we don't have problems today with VHS. So I did love that take on it. It was really sentimental and nice, and just from the opening and just kind of that reminiscence that, you know, grandparents would do about their children. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating that particular story?
So myself and my creative partner, we have a small production company called Bracero, which means worker. We were kind of just pitching this thing to some groups about a project to do, and we always thought about nostalgia, what we're nostalgic about. And I actually have a cousin named Ruby who had a quinceañera, and we couldn't get over the fact of how VHS quality is like, and even just the dissolves and everything else. So we wanted to pull from our childhood, from our experiences, and it was really fun to play with that and combine all these things. Like we were really into WWF, we were really into like these like really cheesy music videos, and it's like combining that with the quinceañera was just a lot of fun. So we wanted to play around with that and kind of be nostalgic about everything.
It was really nice because you set in 1991 and you sort of really realized just how far we've moved on technically. It's quite amazing. And even in terms of dress sense and how we, you know, have such things and events and such, what sort of things did you kind of need to do? Because firstly, to actually recreate this VHS quality is one thing, and then secondly, you've got all a huge ensemble that have also got to kind of like have that dress sense of that time period. And how did you combine all that together?
We just really went to the root of the music and to the artists and, you know, who they are and where we grew up in East Los Angeles. And we pull from there. So from the costume designer to the production designer, everybody was kind of from like this Latinx, Latino kind of background. And so we just said like, what do you remember from your past? What was the most horrifying, or what was the most like embarrassing thing? And we just all started collecting what we had experienced. So the band brought in, you know, the inspiration of the hats or even the really cheesy embroidery. And then the costume designer recreated the quinceañera dress. And she worked with her grandmother who used to make quinceañera dresses. So they designed that together. And then they even designed the braces and everything else. So we were just pulling from like embarrassing family photos and albums and everything like that. So it was really intimate for all of us. It's like, wow, this is the family party. We're going back to the family party, so that's what it was for us. Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Now, I fell in love with the song. Like, I actually watched it over and over again because the song was really catchy. Even though I don't speak Spanish that well, it was very catchy. And one of the things that I loved about it was the band were just so engaging, so brilliant. And how did you come across the band? Because they were brilliant.
They're actually, you know, we're in a small community here in LA, and there's a group of artists, whether it's musicians, painters, filmmakers, and we all kind of congregate in the same watering holes. And we've known this band for a very long time, and they were just like, we want to do a project, so what do you have in mind? And it's like, okay, so we're going to float this to you. And they just got really excited about it because it spoke to their experiences and to their family. And a lot of the music they play is inspired by, if you look back at the video where it's like they're playing this, it's called banda music or corridos, and they're really inspired about, their music is inspired by that, so they really wanted to kind of, they took to it right away. They really, I'm like, I get to work like this little paisa hat, I get to dance in the park, and all these different things, I'm totally down. So once they saw the costumes, they like fell in love. Like, we want to do this. So that's how we got them in.
The costumes are brilliant. Like, it's like, let's bring back the early 90s. That's how I kind of felt about it. But one of the things, I mean, as well, when you're making a film like this and creating all this nostalgia, is how do you work as a director to kind of bring this, you know, large group of people together to kind of create this atmosphere as well that this is going on?
Yeah, I mean, we worked with something like 50 extras in that small space.
Wow.
An ensemble cast of the quinceañera party was maybe around 9 to 11 people,
Yeah.
and then it's just all these moving components. And it's an independent production, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of cat wrangling. But I think for myself and for everyone who worked on it, it's just a story that we had to keep in mind. Like, at some point, it was like a documentary, and I used to see in the video, you know, there's a photographer who's actually my creative partner and DP. He had the mustache. That was actually, he was like, all right, you're going to be in this for a second. Okay?
Oh, great.
And so he grew out the mustache too. So that's Giovanni Solis. He grew out the mustache and hated me for it. So there's an expression in the video where he just kind of looks at the camera, or he's kind of looking at someone. It's just very genuine. But I think it's just a story that we told ourselves. It's like we were always in the quinceañera. We're always keeping in this party vibe, this whole thing going on. So as long as you can really keep the energy up and kind of really be excited, like, all right, folks, we're going to be doing this, and let them all in on the joke, it just becomes really easy. So I couldn't have made it. We couldn't have made it without all the community that we had. And everyone bringing in their energy, their history, their family history, and everything into that. So you
felt like you could feel, I mean, even though that was the whole idea of the whole film, but you felt like they really were having a lot of fun as well, which you could. You could tell.
I mean, there was live wrestling to live music and people shouting, and it just became like this, you know, WWF match in this middle of this quinceañera hall, and everybody was really into it. It was a real wrestling match, which is kind of a liability nightmare sometimes.
Yeah.
But they were both trained wrestlers, and they both.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really cool.
You got the right people. What was the biggest challenge that you faced creating this particular project?
I think the biggest challenge for us creating the project is melding the three narratives, because it was really. We went in with the premise of what we're going to do, and it was kind of a documentary in all portions except the beginning. But then melding those all into three narratives into one was a challenge. So it was finding moments and really using the device of VHS and kind of that effect to go ahead and create you know, the kind of 3-story act. Like, you know, this happens, and then the wrestling comes in, and so it all combines into one little thing. So I think that was the greatest challenge, but it paid off. It was really fun to do, and we were all really happy with it.
Well, I was peeking in last night, and it was really nice to sort of feel from the audience, because you could tell people were really, really enjoying it, and I felt like there's probably an essence of nostalgia for a lot of people that may have experienced what a VHS was and experienced, you know, those kind of parties.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to have your film at NewFilmmakers LA, to have it in front of an audience? What's that feeling like when you just turn this project and all of a sudden it's in front of a live audience?
It's the feeling. It's great. It's amazing. It really is amazing, especially exhibiting with NewFilmmakers LA, to go ahead and share a culture element of you know, the filmmakers' past and history, and to share with other folks and have them experience that and enjoy that. So, you know, there's this cross-culturalism that's happening.
Yeah.
So there's persons that are attending the New Filmmakers event that might not be familiar with quinceañeras or all the hysteria and kind of a cultural significance of that and the humor in that. They get to experience it, and it's really satisfying as a filmmaker to see them, you know, enjoy it just the way that you're enjoying it, or to find different things and to find these kind of, you know, these universal truths about, you know, being embarrassed about your past or about the 90s, which we made the film, but we're totally embarrassed for the 90s. So.
Well, we all did silly things in the 90s, but no, and what's interesting about you, Andrew, as well, is this is kind of a little bit off, you know, sort of a slightly different genre in which you normally do with your production company. So what's next for you as a filmmaker? What's coming up for you?
So there's a few things. We're actually working on a feature documentary right now, and that has to do with incarceration and creativity as a transformative power to be something more. So we're working with different folks that have been incarcerated in the state of California. But we're actually working, you know, again, to get something a little bit lighter. We're making a series right now about a fictional Central American country and its population that are all puppets. So
wow, that's very interesting.
It's bizarre and it's fun. Like, we have to have a sense of humor about what we do.
Yeah.
So I think like the camisa, the puppets, and everything else like that, that's just about really enjoying life and celebrating. Yeah. Reminding people to have a sense of humor about your experience. So there's the documentary, but then there's also a puppet project. Yeah,
you're just all very versatile in how you make your projects. Wonderful. Just closing, what piece of advice have you learned across your career as a filmmaker so far that maybe you'd like to share with us that's been important to you on your journey?
I think what I've learned about filmmaking is, you know, you have to be passionate.
Yeah.
And you have to be about the work. It can't be about you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I learned in working with others, working just by myself, is that if you really create a piece, you make it about just the piece because it exists beyond you. People can invest in it, and you know, don't have an ego about it. It's, you know, do the work, enjoy the work, share the work. Mm-hmm. I think it's really impossible to do that if you make it about yourself. So make it communal. Filmmaking is collaborative. So
filmmaking is collaborative, very true.
Make it for everyone, yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and thank you for this project. Very looking forward to seeing your documentary about, you know, something we should definitely be talking about, and you know, in prison reform in this country. And looking forward to seeing the film about puppets. That's very exciting as well.
Just two different directions, yeah.
Yeah, just keep going, keep going that way. Mm-hmm. No, thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
Looking forward to seeing much more of your work.
Yeah.
Andrew Vasquez, everybody.